good morning. Just cleaning this up with some Scotch-Brite. It's about 600 grit. So I can respray it. That looks pretty good. If I didn't burn through that there, I just clear over it. So this just needs to be a little quick zip and a little quick that, and that'll be good. This one needs to be sanded down. It's really dusty in here. Let's take a look at the Hellcat. Drum roll, please. Okay. Here we go. We've got to sand this off and then get some primer on this baby. So I will sand these down to what? Let's do 320 on those. I'm going to take the door handles off. There's a screw on the inside right here that you loosen, and then these will pop off. Don't catch anything in the door. When I put baking soda on the floor and in there, because it just smells kind of stolen. All right, we got some airflow going. Need to get that mask on, because I tell you what, that breathing in that dust is not fun. I'll start off with 320. And yeah, probably go 400, 600, we'll see. I tell you what, taping a car is a lot of work. It's as much as sanding. So I'm gonna sand all the rest of this down to what, 400, then 600. And then I'll spray the primer over these spots. Now the hood, I don't want to get that line like I did before, but I do want to get some primer on it. This is where the corrosion was. But the rest, I'm gonna do what I've learned on the internet. Thank you, Paint Society, if it works. And the other thing, if it doesn't work. You sand it down to 600, okay? Then you do your primer or heated sealer on the parts that need to be color matched, which I'm not gonna do. Well, you didn't follow directions. Probably not. As I'm saying that out loud, I'm like, I got the paint. Maybe I'll just paint the whole damn thing. Because that's if you're trying to blend it and make it exactly the same. So I don't really care. It'll be the same because it's the same. It's one side of the car. Now, it may not look great when it comes to the trunk or the hood or the bumpers. But I think it will. I mean, these are new paint. They're the same. In fact, this quarter and all up the top is new, and that matches my eyes exactly the same. I'm a little colorblind, but it looks the same to me. I'm gonna do some sanding, then some priming, then some color, and then I might color sand the color. Probably will. And I'm gonna turn the PSI down on my gun. I think, listening to people on the internet, I turned it up, and I had that one where I got all that solvent pop, which just pissed me off. I don't normally get mad. If you want to see me mad, look at that video. And I was holding back. and I said the F word, and I was mad because I just sanded it. Even this, this was done, and then the clear ran. Because me listening to people on the internet are like, oh, you got to turn up the pressure on the clear. Well, when I did the general, I didn't have to do that. I don't see what would be different. In fact, taping has taken me about an hour to get it the way I want it. I put the fat tape in between the doors, and that was popped out. And I'm trying to do it very professionally, so I don't get any paint on the seals. But in a minute, you will see a completely painted side, and I won't screw it up. All right. So let's sand, and I'll get back to you. Bye. Even after what was supposed to be the final sanding, gotta fix it now while I can. I just need to add a little bit. Right here, there's barely a little spot. And there's barely a little spot there. And there's barely a little spot there. So I'll do some icing. It's easy. So I'm about to go sand some more on that driver's door. The curve just wasn't quite right. Otherwise I'd be into primer right now. I just can't leave it half-assed. I need it to be full-assed. Just the kind of guy I am. So always put on your protection. Finally got it. I had a little divot right here that I could not leave. All right, I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to clean it with some glass cleaner. Just your regular old, whatever this is. Then let that flash off, and then I'll put primer there, and all over there, and on the hood. Then once the primer dries, I don't think I'll do two coats of primer, probably just one. Sand that down to probably 220, 320, I'll have to decide. Then sand the rest of the paint down to 400, like the clear coat. Why? Because I want to. And then sand it all down to 600, and then spray the paint. And then I'm gonna do light coats, like light, on low air pressure. Hopefully that's what my problem's been. Because I'm not a professional painter, did you know? It's another gigantic step in the right direction. I wanted to have it done by now. Doesn't matter, it's snowing anyway outside. But I just did the wax and grease remover. That's flashing off. Give that about 10 minutes. No rush, all right? And if you see anything, like as I'm going around, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. There's like an edge that's not quite right. Fix it now. Fix it now. Because if you don't, it'll show through the paint. It may be a pain if you have to re-clean everything and whatever, but fix it now if you can. That's why all morning I've been working on this right here. This swoops down right here, and there was just a teeny little, I don't want to call it a dent. Let's call it an indentation. Just nobody would have seen it. But it was keeping me awake. The good news is it's going to look really good. The bad news is I'm a perfectionist, and it's taking way longer than I planned because I wanted to have this car done by now and move on to the next one. But I tell you what, it is such a learning process. The things I've learned just from getting the car from the auction and finding out all this other crap I had to do just to get the car was a nightmare. If you're going to do this, be sure that you're sure because you're not sure. All right, let's get some primer on this thing. This is sanding off the guide coat on the primer. Still got to do the doors. This is 320 grit. I'm going to do 400, then 600, then spray the paint. That sounds easy, but it's sand everything, clean everything, sand everything, clean everything. Probably going to have to retape several areas. Probably should retape the whole thing. This is 320 sanded the primer and the paint, except for the bottom of that door. Just a couple of shot spots showed through, they'll be fine. It's a lot of work, but it's gonna look beautiful. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you later.